Okay, chill out. Before you get triggered, hear me out. Okay, after these 2 seconds, the snowflakes might have left the dislike and left the video, but now that you're still here, hear me out on this thought that I have on an experience of mine during my trading journey. And let me preface this video by saying that this is not what you are going to expect from this video. I'm not going to be critiquing a community. I'm not going to be critiquing basically anything. So what I'm going to say is not what you are expecting. So make sure to stick around. And before we get into this all cold thing, I need to give you an introduction to my background, because like that you will understand how this all happened, and it's crucial. So I went to the UK when I was 18 years old because it was the only way that I could get to any university because of my shitty grades, and I was just looking for an easier way, like a new possibility to learn something new, and I thought that university was the way to go. I had no goals and I was just cruising around with nothing to do. I always had a thing for business, and when people would ask me, oh, so what do you want to do when you're older, I would always say I want to own a business. But inevitably the next question was going to be, so what business? And I was always like, ah, fuck. So I went to the UK, went to uni to get a management and leadership degree, and also work part-time / full-time because I knew that working was one of my main priorities. Everything was going good. I was going to uni. I was getting £7 an hour. Like, to me that was perfect because I have worked for £2 an hour before. And then magically someone comes up to me and says that they have this reputable trader, which literally their words say, I trust my money to no one except this one person. And little did I know that was a complete lie. He never had invested any money with that person, and he was a forex signal provider. But guess what? I was 18, nothing to do, no goals in life, and this guy on Instagram was posting screenshots of everyday people making profits and profits and profits, and I wanted my slice. Well, and you know how the rest went, and if you don't, I'll give you a shorter version. I got fucked. But it sparked my interest. It opened a new door for me. What was this forex thing? Why was I putting numbers on an MT4 or MT5 on an app and making money or losing money? Like, what is the science behind this? So I started researching, and a little bit after, I joined my first community. That was the second best decision that I've made so far in my life, because I finally had a purpose in my life. I finally had a big goal. I wanted to become a consistently profitable trader. I wanted to become a full-time trader, and all this just propelled me into having a ton of goals and giving me a whole lot of meaning and all that. And it was absolutely amazing. It was a big shift in my life. And this community was the one that gave all that to me, gave me purpose, gave me goals, gave me all of that. And for that, I'm eternally grateful for my mentor back then and the community back then. I'm eternally grateful because it genuinely changed my life. And a little bit after, I was just preparing my downfall because I stopped doing what got me there in the first place. So what got me into that community was having an open mind to new experiences, having an open mind simply to everything. If a door opens, I identify it, and if the door is good or it looks good, I try to go for it. What I started doing was closing my mind to anything that was not that community. To me, that community was perfect. And with this idea of the community being perfect and no one being able to change my mind, things started to go south, because once you start thinking of new possibilities, you start also feeling a lot of guilt, because you're like, why am I looking for something else if this is perfect? And then I just started carrying a big feeling of guilt on my shoulders. And what made me feel this guilt was the fact that they were the ones that gave me the keys to my meaning of life. They were the ones that made me set goals in my life, and leaving it was kind of betrayal in my mind. And also, everyone was getting insulted. If anyone left the community, they were getting insulted, and I was part of it. I completely ignored like the red flags of why people were leaving, and I joined the mob, the community mob, that were insulting these people that were leaving, or at least just looking them sideways. And I just remained on my cloud nine because I thought I'm the one who's right here. And a little bit after, someone very dear to my heart left the community, and that finally opened my eyes into watching the red flags and understanding that, okay, I shouldn't be feeling guilt. But I still did. I left the community, but I still felt a lot of guilt in that decision. But thankfully that person actually found out because someone messaged them saying, oh, he just joined whatever, or he just left this community. And he messaged me and he was like, oh dude, I think you made a good decision, you know, and that like really helped me, and I'm eternally grateful for that person. And that was the best decision I've made in my life. Why? Because it propelled me into a new dimension, a dimension where I can look at things unbiasedly. I know that I've made my mistake on looking at something as being perfect. I was ignorant to thinking that this was perfect, and I now can look at things from a different perspective, a more unbiased perspective. It doesn't mean that it's not biased, it's just less bias. Looking at everything that happened, you might be asking yourself now, so why the fuck are you saying that you just entered the cult and a trading cult? And calm down. Like, it's not that I really entered in a cult in that negative connotation that it has, but that I entered in a cult mentality, meaning that I am not blaming the community, I'm actually blaming myself. And to look further into this, let's look at everything that I said and compare it with this website that I have. 10 things to know about the psychology of cults. Cults are attractive because they promote an illusion of comfort. As I said, I was very uncomfortable in the position that I was at. I had no meaning in life, no goals in life, and this community did give it to me. And shortly after, like, it was indeed my comfort zone. And it's not that it's bad, it's just that it kind of is just an illusion. Cults satisfy the human desire for absolute answers. I don't think this is something that would definitely apply. Those with low self-esteem are more likely to be persuaded by a cult environment. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with what I said, and also here with the attractive of the illusion of comfort, which is I had very low self-esteem, and that's why I got really persuaded into entering in the cult mentality, right? Because I was like so down. And let's say that when you are really sad, you drink alcohol, and that alcohol is going to most likely become an addiction because it serves as a solution to your problems that you had before, and they're not going away. So you kind of need to work on yourself. And yeah, since I had low self-esteem, I definitely got persuaded into entering in the cult mentality. New recruits are love bombed. I think this is kind of everywhere. No comment on these two, like religion and women, whatever. Cults maintain their power by promoting us versus them mentality. And I think this is such an important one. Why? Because that is exactly what happened. When you go into a cult mentality, you are not thinking about other perspectives, about other opportunities. You're like, we are like the outsiders, we are the ones that are right, and everything else is wrong. Meaning that it becomes a competition to proving that you are right. And that is exactly what happened. If anyone was thinking of moving into some other community or going by themselves or whatever, they would automatically be here on the them, meaning that it created a competition, and that's why they were being insulted. That's why people were insulting one another, and that's why communities were insulting one another. And I know someone messaged me saying like, why is it that so many mentors are now taking hits at each other? And it's like, because they're indulging in this cult mentality of us versus them. It's not an us versus them. Cult leaders are a masters of mind control. I don't want to give my opinion on any of this simply because I really appreciate my mentor and he has really helped me. So I don't want to say that he had bad intentions because I don't believe so. Cult members have no idea that they're in a cult. Yeah, like you don't. That is why it was a slippery slope. So with all this, I do believe that this is an important video because it teaches people and myself an important lesson for when you enter in a community, which is it is not perfect. Be it a trading community or any other community, there are always going to be flaws. Everything has its good and bad. It's a fundamental truth of life. You need to be happy where you're at, but also understand other possibilities. Understand that nothing is perfect, and wherever you're at, there is going to be something more appealing or better out there. That doesn't mean that you have to indulge in everything. That doesn't mean you have to go after every single possible thing that might be better, but simply to keep an open mind. Basically, the bottom line for this video are these 5 bullet points. Don't close your mind into all other possibilities. That's not what got you to where you are at in the first place. What got you there was being open to a new experience. 2. Enjoy where you are currently at and understand that you should not feel guilty if you are thinking about changing. You are supposed to outgrow your mentors and become an individual. 3. This does not mean chop and change when things get tough. You need to understand when you are being a little bitch that can handle some tough times, and when you are looking to simply improve, and only you can draw that silver lining. 4. Get off your high horse. You are not better than someone else. Don't insult others just because they made a different decision than yours. Respect everyone and do your thing. 5. A cult can be everywhere. Intentional in some places, as we've seen happening, but also something unintentional, like this trading cult I was in. So I really hope this helps kind of shifting your mentality into maybe you were thinking, oh, this is the way to go, this is just perfect, and just opening your mind a little bit. I think that's key for everyone. A little bit of chaos is needed in your life. If you watch this video to the end and you're not one of those fucking snowflakes that is just going to dislike the video and leave because they got triggered by the thumbnail, you can disagree with me and let me know in the comments section if you do disagree with what I was saying. But if you do disagree, please let me know that you got to the end of the video by starting the comment with an emoji, with this laughing emoji. And if you haven't watched the full video and are disagreeing, go Love you all. Peace.